was a good win for us. I think the thing that stood out to me about the game was obviously our pitchers threw the ball very well, and it might have been as good as I've seen Tyler Johnson throw. It was a very impressive performance from him. He's just been waiting for an opportunity to get his confidence going a little bit, and we've pitched him in some short stints, and he's had some bad luck happen to him, and his ERA wasn't indicative of how much the kid has improved. I didn't see the radar gun stuff, but I can probably by the naked eye, I'm sure he was in the mid-90s there for a while and probably popped some fastballs in there about 94, 95, 96 miles an hour. And but he also had command of it, and he also had command of his breaking ball. So he had a great night. We did okay offensively. We played good defense. We didn't have an error on the board. And, Wofford, coming in this game, I was scared just because Wofford had gotten off to a good start and they'd beaten some decent teams. And obviously they put a lot of pressure on you on the bases. So it was good for us to get ahead there in the third inning. And that kind of nullified their running game a little bit. And our pitchers obviously didn't let me guys get on base. So it's hard to steal bases when you're not on base. So that was a game plan going in. We executed it. We still got to do a lot better, more consistent, have more consistent at bats, and still have a little bit better approach offensively if we want to be the team that we want to be. But all in all, it's a good win, and we got to come to the park ready to go tomorrow against Furman.
John, and then Brian, then Chris.
Dom said you weren't happy with them, weren't going to practice them yesterday, but then practiced them. What did you tell those guys in practice about their approach at the plate, and what did y'all do to kind of get back on track offensively?
Well, I don't know if we were on track yet. I told them after the game today, I just think we have a chance to be really good offensively, and we have a chance to be a lot better than what we performed over the weekend, and I think we have a chance to be a lot better than what we performed tonight. I'm not very satisfied with this offensively right now. I just think we have better hitters than – we're not as consistent in our at-bats and our approach as I want to be. But what we worked on yesterday was using the other side of the field, staying through the ball, hitting through the ball, not all of us in there wailing away trying to hit home runs and pulling off the ball and, being somebody that we're not. We got some guys in there that can pop the ball out of the ballpark. We need those guys to hit the ball in the air and try to drive the ball. We got some guys that can cause some havoc on the bases and, need to be on-base percentage guys. Sometimes our on-base percentage guys, they've been swinging like our middle-of-the-lineup guys, and that's not a good combination. Our fast guys and our guys at the top of the order and the bottom of the order need to get on base. And, I think they got outside of themselves a little bit over the last few days, and we're working hard to get back to playing the game the right way, realizing who we are and from an individual standpoint, and try to use their individual skills to help our team.
Brian, and then Chris.
Kind of staying with that a little bit, Dom said, or I should say that Dom's hit in the one spot, he's hit in the 5 spot, he's played in left, he played in center. Have you kind of been impressed that he's just 3 for 3 tonight, that he's kind of done a little bit of everything and stayed consistent the whole way through?
Well, he's gotten his fair share of hits, and I think Dom will be the first one to tell you, while his numbers are good, I think he can hit the ball with more authority consistently than he has. And I know that's going to sound a little nitpicky, but he's gifted. He's a gifted athlete that's very strong and explosive. And we need him to put some charge and some balls like he did tonight. The ball down the right field line and obviously the home run, those are good swings. And if he repeats those and doesn't try to do too much, his strength and his explosiveness will take over. And also, there's been a period of adjustment for the new guys. The JUCO guys too. I mean, they're adjusting to this game in a new setting, in a new environment, and it's taken them a little bit of time. I think if we can all perform the way we're capable of performing, we have a chance to be darn good offensively. And I just want us to be darn good now. I'm not very patient.
To the right, Chris.
We'll stick with that same theme. They struck out 27 times this weekend, only had 1 tonight. Did you see anything that their approach was a little bit better, and do you think this could help their confidence going forward?
Well, that's kind of the point I drove home to him, and that the strikeout to walk ratio over the weekend was very unacceptable. And I don't have to look at a hit total. I don't have to look at batting averages. I can look at the walk to strikeout ratio and tell you if I got a competitive team giving me competitive at bats. And the walk to strikeout ratio over the weekend wasn't indicative of a competitive team offensively. So it was good to take a small step forward tonight in that regard. But we got to do it over time, not just one game.
Why the predetermined split, and are you preparing Adam for possibly pitching on the weekend, especially with the start of SEC play coming up in a couple weeks?
Well, we didn't pitch Adam a lot of pitches. It doesn't. You guys probably have a feel that obviously he's a candidate to pitch on the weekend, or we wouldn't have predetermined start it. So we wanted to save the number of pitches or his bullets, so he'll be fresh and ready to go this weekend if we choose to pitch him. He's a candidate to obviously throw on the weekend. He may throw this weekend. He may not. I got to see how he bounces back. Last week he was a little bit slow to bounce back. So he's a young pitcher, and we certainly don't want to rush him into anything. But he obviously will probably be available this weekend against Charleston Southern. And if he's not, then we'll make sure he's available and fresh and ready to go for the first conference weekend. That doesn't mean he's going to start. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be in the weekend rotation, but he is a strong candidate with the way that he's pitched.
John and then Brian.
Were you able to learn much about Alex Destino in left and Dom in center as they stood out there and watched everybody strike out?
No, but I learned a lot more. It's a good question. I learned a lot more about them in the last 2 days in practice with balls that they're getting live off the bat and the work that they did, during batting practice and after practice. We kind of worked. I worked some different guys in left field yesterday. Destino was one. John Jones was one. You guys understand that Alex is a work in progress at first, and he's getting more comfortable there. But he's also played the outfield a lot more than he's played first base. He's more comfortable out there, and I can't DH Jones and Destino at the same time. So I got to find a place for one of those kids to play, because I think I got to have them in the middle of our lineup. And right now it's just something that we're going to continue to work on. And he's looked good in practice. He's looked fine. And he's not Willie Mays out there, but if it's hit to him, he'll catch it. And that's a start.
Obviously, a byproduct of the split start is getting 4 pitchers action tonight. How important is that as you are going into 13 years?
We needed guys that needed to throw. We had guys that needed to throw, and I was so happy for Tyler. I know that was a big relief. He's been a little bit disappointed. There's not a kid on our staff that's made a jump that Tyler Johnson's made. The kid was 88 to 89 last year, and now you got people talking about him being a potential first-round draft pick because of his velocity. So that kid is one of the, if not the hardest worker on our team. He's certainly in the top 2 or 3. So I was really proud of him, the way he performed. And, Adam's been consistent for a freshman. He's just really been consistent. I don't think he had the zip on his fastball tonight that he's had the last 2 times out. Might have been a little bit, worn down or a little bit fatigued for some, whatever reason. Not because of how much he's thrown, but just, he's a freshman. They work hard in the weight room. They condition hard. Maybe he wasn't as fresh tonight as he's been in his previous starts, but he still threw the ball well, and he still competed, and he still got us off to a good start. And no walks and 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. That's a pretty good line, and I'll take that every time. So he's been I'm very excited about the potential that he has and the future that he has in our baseball program.
By my count, Cone was the 6th different leadoff hitter you've used this year in 13 games.
Might do 7 tomorrow night. So
are you looking for more Well, I guess that goes to my question. Are you looking for more stability there at that
Not
spot? And what are your
stability. I'm
expectations
looking
going
for
forward?
somebody. You know, Gene did it all last year, and I just want. It's hard. I struggle making a lineup out every day in about 3 or 4 spots. I struggle just because I want to play about in those 3 spots. I want to play 6 kids, and it's just a struggle for me. And Gene has got the most experience, and if we can get him to hit the ball on the ground and stop hitting fly balls, he's got a chance to be in there a lot just because he does everything I ask him to do. He can get a bunt down. He's polished. He can hit. You can hit and run with him. He's a really good defender, and he's been in some battles around here. So, but that being said, I hadn't settled in on a leadoff guy, and I do think Dom's not very comfortable leading off. I will tell you that. I'm a lot more comfortable leading Dom off than he is actually leading off, and so yeah, and I'd rather have him up, to be honest with you, in RBI positions, RBI spots. But at the same point in time, I told Dom I also want my best hitters to get the most number of at-bats they possibly can, and sometimes you get an extra at-bat when you're leading off. So there's a couple different ways to look at it. But at some point I'm going to settle on one. I don't think it'll be a revolving door for 56 games, but you guys tell me. Shoot, has somebody taken the bull by the horns in that leadoff spot, y'all yell at me. I'll put them in there. I mean, because I struggle with it daily.
In the middle, Colin.
Coach, you mentioned using
That's a good. He's led off. He's one of the candidates.
You mentioned using a lot of pitchers tonight. Who are you looking forward to start tomorrow? Or have you made a decision there?
I hadn't talked to Coach Myers. I would think obviously Cropper's certainly one of the ones that will throw tomorrow. I don't know if I'm not naming him starter as I sit up here. Probably will in about 30, 45 minutes. But Tyler Haswell's got to throw. Cropper needs to throw. Reed Scott didn't get in there tonight. He probably needs to throw an inning or 2 tomorrow. Brandon Merle only threw 14 pitches tonight. He'll be available to throw tomorrow. We'll have a number of guys that can pitch. We need to get Kyle Anderson in there, a freshman that's been throwing very well in his bullpens. And we're impressed with him. So I don't know where Josh Reagan will be tomorrow night, but I can tell you it'll probably be a number of guys that we put in the game tomorrow.
All right, last question, Phil.
Any plans on giving McElwain a start before you lose him to football?
I just I want to give him some opportunities. And I don't know if it'll be in the starting position. It's been a difficult dilemma. Because I love Brandon and I think he's going to be a really, really good baseball player. And he needs to to be really good. He does need to play. Yet at the same time, we got some very, very important games and a very, very important series during that 3 or 4 week period. So, I have to make sure I get 3 comfortable guys out there, that are ready for that tough stretch. I mean, I hate to look ahead, and I'm not going to look ahead, but you guys are smart enough to know those first 9 SEC games that's murderer's row. And we got to get as many guys as we can to be ready for that stretch because it's going to be a difficult one.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Furman Paladins.